Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of RV Business's Capital Talk series. With us, of course, is Sherm Goldenberg and Gregg Fore with RV Business. I'm Rick Kessler with RV Business. And joining us is Jeff Hirsch from Campers Inn RV. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
So from your perspective, sitting there in your office, how's business? Tell us about the market.
Yeah, business actually continues to be robust. Even with all the vaccinations that are being administered, we still have a lot of customers coming in that still believe that the RV lifestyle is the right lifestyle for them. It's a natural social distancing recreation that a family can do to go ahead and not only have a good time, but also be a healthy choice. So I think we'll continue to go ahead and be the beneficiary, unfortunately, of the pandemic.
In general and at your operation?
Yeah, I would agree with that. The only challenge that we have that every other dealer in America has is getting inventory. That continues to go ahead and be very difficult. Manufacturers are obviously trying to outsource everywhere they can in order to meet the supply needs, and it's probably a bigger challenge than we even imagine right now.
Jeff, how many stores are you up to at this point?
I think I lost count.
Well, so have we. We were just talking about it. We can't. Yeah.
Use my fingers, Jeff, if that helps you.
I use my fingers, I use my toes. It's still not enough now, so it's a lot, right? No, this will make our 28th location.
And I'm talking about Naperville.
That's right. Just recently, just announced that.
U.S. Adventure RV in Naperville, Illinois.
Right.
That puts you at 28, like you say, mostly up and down the East Coast. But now we're making a little bit of a move west here.
Well, I'm just following the gold rush. We strategically want to continue our focus on the Eastern Seaboard. When you look at the corridors that we, have aligned with, we feel that we want to create a conduit for our customers and, be that trusted resource. So that's natural for us, but we're getting calls from a lot of dealers now outside of that Eastern Seaboard that are starting to make sense for us. And we have a lot of ambition to go ahead and be a national company. And, where the opportunities, present themselves and they're right opportunities for Campers Inn, we're going to pursue them.
But if you look at the East Coast, it's really where your company started from in the first place, right?
We started in New England, and as many people know, we started because we got a bad RV experience. And, I think it was a simultaneous decision that my mother and father had. They wanted to do two things, right? One was they always felt like they wanted to give their sons a better life, all right? They were first generation Americans, and they just wanted to go ahead and see us with opportunities that maybe were a little bit better than what they had. And then there was a bad experience, and my father, who always wanted to be in business, this was a great opportunity to go ahead and treat people the way he felt that they should be treated. And that was seriously the impetus behind getting into the camper business. He started with 4 Scamper 10 campers, and essentially was almost his life savings in his 40s.
In what year, Jeff?
1966.
Wow. But so if we jump to today, we look at the national picture, the industry, along with everything else and the pandemic and everything else, is really in an acquisitive mode. Almost right now, I'm looking at Rick here, he's posting an acquisition a day, it seems like. It hasn't been going on for months at this pace, but right now it is. Well, how do you see this, and why are we seeing this, and realizing that you in some way, shape, or form are a part of it?
So that's a challenging question, and there's probably a lot of thoughts behind that. I think that our industry is maturing, right? It's getting more sophisticated. And when you look at the return on assets, when it starts getting, into, the 20, probably the 20 to 30% range, you see a lot of outside money looking at it with opportunity. And I think that has, to some degree, been the reason why you've seen that money come into this industry, is because they're looking for those returns. It's a good use of capital, right? And then I think what happened was, we're no different. We see a lot of opportunity in this industry. We see a great way to go ahead and create a lot of opportunity for our employees, our stakeholders, our customers. And there was a lot of reasons for us to go ahead and expand. Fortunately, we've been able to do it with outside money. We've had a lot of great partnerships along the way that have gone ahead and created this platform of growth for us. And we continue to, seek out those partnerships. The outside money has come into this industry in a big way, all right? Publicly traded money, family office money. And we've been reluctant to be a part of that. Of course, I'm an independent soul, right? So when it comes to making decisions, I kind of like to look in the mirror and not have to worry about that someone's looking in the mirror behind me, all right? And, we've always been the kind of company that wanted to make long-term favorable decisions. I don't want to look at a quarter and feel like I have to make a decision that may not be good, for the future of the business, its customers, or its employees. We don't have to worry about a quarter to quarter. And generally, family office money or private equity money, they have a short-term time horizon. They may have a 7-year agenda where, that money has to be returned to the investors. And again, that might create some challenges for a company going forward. So I never wanted to subscribe to that. And I felt like I always want to be independent. And I think it's worked well for us. I think that from a culture standpoint, that's extremely important.
So when we look at your acquisitions or future acquisitions as well, what are your priorities at this point? What are you looking to do? Where and what kind of stores?
That's all across the board, but culture is really important to us. Reputation is really important to us. Not only the future reputation of Campers Inn, but also the reputation of the acquisition, right? The seller. And, I know this may sound a little strange, but I never want to violate the principles that my father founded the business on. And that was that, he would say to me, you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. And it's almost a paradox in some respects. I think what he was saying was that no one's better than you, so don't be intimidated. But on the same token, just remember that you're not better than anybody else.
So Rick, I'm going to ask him a question about the market in general, but did you want to go somewhere else first?
Well, no, actually, I wanted to also ask about the market in general. We're not looking to, get anybody in trouble here, but your inventory levels that you mentioned, where would you like to be and where are you at now?
I would like to have 50% more inventory than what we have right now. The problem.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
The problem, Rick, right now is that everybody thought that this winter that the manufacturers would be able to go ahead and build dealer inventory, and that has not happened. So actually, we continue to go ahead and sell down our inventory while the inventory that's coming in, for the most part, is pre-sold.
That's tough.
So go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
I don't have a good follow-up. So go ahead, Sherman.
All right. So since we always try and get our interviews down to about 6 minutes, we're about double that now. So let's look to exit on a question about the market in general. In light of what you were just telling us about inventory levels, I realize that it hinges greatly on that. But where are we headed as an industry, not just Campers Inn?
I think as an industry, I think our best years are ahead. I really believe that. You know, we talk a lot about, you know, the RVs and about innovation and about quality, and how we need to go ahead and meet market demands and you know, consumer expectation. And I do believe that the industry is responding to that. But there's a whole nother facet that's happening in the campground industry. Campgrounds have new money coming into that industry as well, developing new sites, modernizing campgrounds, whether it's putting, you know, septic systems in, sewer systems, utilities, you know, the gamut, what the modern RV needs today. And I've always felt that when you look at the campground, the accommodators, that was the weak link in the industry. And because it's attracting investment today, if we have great places for customers to use the RVs that we're selling today, then we'll keep more people in the lifestyle and we'll be able to grow the industry. I think it's a very important part that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
So as we prepare to sign off, I think we owe it to Gregg Fore to say, do you have any questions before we sign off, Gregg? Is it about, you know, his golf swing or some sort of crap like that?
Well, I've seen his golf swing, so there's no reason to discuss that. It's pretty well fixed for the days ahead. The only thing I would add, if real quickly, is do you see the campground part of that not only private and chain, but also government owned?
Are you saying, are there improvements on both sides?
Yeah,
Private and public?
right. We're seeing new money come into private campgrounds. We've, you know, with our sister publication, we've focused on that in our campground management magazine. But the other side of that is the huge number of federally or state-owned campgrounds in parks. And do you see that playing the same role, Jeff, as the private campground?
Not only is my golf swing fixed, my memory avoids me at times. All right. What is the coalition, Greg, that, you know, we just put together, RVDA, RVIA, and the outdoor rec, okay? So the outdoor rec roundtable has been a huge win for the future of this industry. And it was the only, I think, bipartisan legislation that actually voted unanimously to go ahead and appropriate funding for the national parks that have been in in bad repair, right? You know, a lot of the parks sections were closed off because they couldn't be accessed because they just didn't have the funding in order to go ahead and keep up with maintenance. So there's a lot of deferred maintenance out there. So with those monies available, the parks are modernizing, both public and private money. And I think that's a big deal. It's a big win for this industry. It might be one of the most significant victories that we've had to support outdoor enthusiasts. And I think that what will happen is I think that as demand picks up, to your point, I think more and more monies will be available both state and federally to go ahead and fund not only expansion, but modernization of these parks. And I think that you'll see that it's going to be in conjunction with the private sector as well.
Okay,
Very good. Very good.
thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jim,
Jeff.
for joining us.
Great to see you guys. And I promise I'll practice my golf swing. All right, Greg?
I look forward to it.
I hope you guys have a great day. It's always good to be with you.
Same to you.